What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon
What's up? What's up?
and LeVon Maynard.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. So this is Wednesday's episode. This is our discussion. So definitely tune in Monday and Tuesday. On Monday, we talked about the new update for the GTA 6 leak. On Tuesday, we discussed the Australian company, telecom company. I was trying to figure out, like, because it's a Singapore company, right? But it happened in Australia, where 40% of their PI was leaked in a ransomware attack, and how one side says it was sophisticated, and the other side says it was not of an attack. So definitely tune into that episode. And then today, everything's coming from an article. Let me highlight my paragraph real quick before I scroll up. From DW.com. So their article is entitled Critical Cybersecurity Infrastructure, How Can Countries Protect Themselves Against Cyber Attacks? And then it goes on to hacking attacks on power grids, telecom networks, I can't speak today, or governments can paralyze entire societies, which we just saw in the Tuesday article, right? Tuesday topic. That makes them a powerful military weapon, as the war in Ukraine demonstrates. How can countries protect themselves? So it's kind of the thesis of the article. So we talked about it time and time again. So we talked about in state, the colonial pipelines, the JBS meat packing plants in South America. We just talked about the telecommunications data breach in Australia. So it's an ongoing cyber war against big governments, and I just try to figure out, like, how do we fix this. So the paragraph I chose to speak about what comes from Berlin's top diplomat. Said that they would not sugarcoat things. Said to ensure that during a major cyber attack, people in Germany can still use railways and receive medical treatment, and that police forces can still operate. The country needs to ramp up its cybersecurity measures. And this came from their foreign minister, Baerbock, talking to the government. So basically, what I was getting from that portion of the article was in Germany, we can't protect against everything, but we have to make sure that we still have railways. We have to make sure people can still get their medicine. We have to make sure that the police officers can still operate in emergency situations, which we talked about last week when it came to Suffolk County in New York, where it basically shut down 911 emergency operations due to a ransomware attack. So, like, we definitely are on it when it comes to this. However, governments seem to be just getting there, so to speak. At least that's my opinion, right? But I give it to you guys. What do you think about this article?
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, you covered it very well. I mean, it's stuff we've talked about before. Just a lot of the sensitive infrastructure that's being attacked nowadays, and it's becoming like the new point of interest for, like, warfare. And I guess pretty soon when we're in, like, the Terminator 2 future, we're going to see, like, androids like cyber attacking and walking around with missiles on their back and stuff like that, going for critical infrastructure. But it's definitely, like, a concern that it's like one of the it's a thing that's going to affect, like, the civilian I guess the innocent civilian population versus, like, somebody going direct attack at a military base or something like that. It's like they're taking out food, gas, water supplies, things like that. It's going to potentially cripple, like, an economy, cripple, like I don't know, just everybody's just general, like, well-being. And then that's going to more likely cause, like, a potential country or organization to, like, give up in their battle to combat this whoever's attacking them. If all the citizens all of a sudden can't eat and everybody's starving to death and all this kind of stuff, then they may just kind of, like, drop the guns and be like, okay, you can, we give up, let us have our food, let's have our Brazilian steaks and and meat. Let us live. But I'll turn it over to you, Shannon. What you think about this one?
And our gas. Don't take away our gas either, right?
Put that in the trash bags, right?
Yeah.
So you can
No, you guys covered it pretty good. Like, the point you're making is, like, the different. I know not every country calls it their Department of Defense, their defense ministry or whatever. They're slowly not becoming the main target anymore, right? Like it's not fruitful to go after them, right? Like if you go after somebody's Department of Defense, like they coming for you. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're gonna hit you back. You go after a private company though, they're like, okay, we'll pay the money because we're losing $500,000 a day or whatever it is for every day that we're going on that we can't provide to our customers or whatever the situation may be, right? So yeah, like it slowly and surely you have these big companies that are becoming more of a target. And when it comes to this, like Ukraine is a more recent example of where this is kind of coming up and being why they want to start talking about countries better protecting themselves, right? Because when the Russian invasion happened, like back in February, like before they went in, I don't remember if it was right before or right after they went in, like it was cybersecurity incidents all over Ukraine, right? That they traced going back to Russia. So it's one of those things where bombs and bullets are not the way people are going to do it now, right? Like they're not going to launch missiles into your backyard anymore. They're gonna go through the world wide webs now. You know what I'm saying? So right. That's how the wars are fought. And like you were saying, like they're gonna cripple you by taking away your food, right? Like you can't, like even when it comes to people that are sitting down at a keyboard, they get hungry too, right? So if JBS shuts down, you know, and they don't get their lobsters and their steak. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's right.
That's what's going to happen. Is there going to be?
What I have every night. That's what I eat.
Yeah, I know, man. You know, I know how you get down, LeVon. I know how you get down. You know, you take it to the East Wing. You know what I mean?
Right. Take it to my East Wing. Have my butler bring it to me.
Butler bring it to you.
You get that really long table. We just sit on one end.
Right. Yeah, the one end. It's like a Bruce Wayne. Like when it's.
It's like coming to America. You got to hit the thing, you know, to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Like, honey, you look sad, you know. On the other end.
That's right. Intercom system on the table.
Yeah. Oh man, but no, like this is legit. Like they're like in this article, they even mentioned how Germany's taking some steps right now. You know what I mean? Like they're setting up a data center in another country. Like they're taking all types of steps to make sure that they don't succumb to what is I can't even say the future of warfare. Like it is right now. It is the present. You know what I mean? Ukraine being the example. So Ryan, what's your thoughts, man? Like you got any more thoughts on this? I know you headed it off, but I don't know.
Right. Yeah, just so the show's been around for just shy of 2 years, and during that time, like we saw the events in Ukraine, which third parties had to step in, right? Like it's not only were they ready, but you had companies like Microsoft stepping in to block attacks. You had Starlink move over their satellites to make sure they remained accessible to the internet, and then block attacks from Russia as well. So like not only are governments trying to ramp up protect themselves, but now you're calling in private companies to also come in and to help, which is crazy to me, but it works, right? But yeah, so like Ukraine got attacked, the US got attacked, Albania got attacked, Montenegro, I believe I pronounced it right, they got attacked. Costa Rica got attacked. We did an article on that one as well. Like all these were government, like all these attacks were focused on governments and shut them down to a certain extent. Like Albania completely went down at one point because of cyber attacks. So like it's the real deal, and that's just 2 years of it, right? We're not that far away from the dystopic future that LeVon was talking about with the robot dogs and the missiles on their back, because he's seen the robot dogs. He's seen them. They're real. They're a conference.
I've seen it.
Right. Like we can't even protect the current infrastructure that cannot move, let alone now we have robot dogs. So and AI out there, right? We're developing AI and we can't protect our meat packing plants and pipelines. Like so the Terminator future is right around the corner. If we don't start locking this down.
It's gonna be maximum overdrive, man. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna be a comet coming by. It's gonna be us just doing it to each other.
Right,
man. So yes, it's definitely concerning. Like all jokes aside, it's definitely concerning. But it's you just see it. It's kind of like the idiocracy, right? Like you said, these pieces coming together to make something that's even potentially worse if we don't get our stuff together. But it's good to see Germany stepping their game up. Obviously, the U.S. has been working on it. And then after the Ukraine, Russia, hopefully the war will conclude in the near future. like the lessons learned from that, like there'll be master classes taught on how they were able to defend themselves in the areas that they weren't able to defend, right? And how the governments get at it to keep themselves from being attacked in those safe circumstances. So like this is going to be an ongoing thing. And you got we talked about it earlier in the week. We got 17-year-olds breaching multi-billion-dollar companies stealing their data, right? So it's pretty. You could say it's disheartening, but at the same time, you could say like we're seeing a lot come out of it. We're seeing a lot of new tactics, techniques, and procedures being developed by countries. So it's definitely a spy versus spy type situation, and both sides just ramping up the warfare, so to speak, when it comes to the cybersecurity landscape. So it's going to be crazy to see what the next year brings from what we've currently seen. So, but definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Hit up our topics on Monday and Tuesday, and then this is Wednesday's episode, so this is our discussion. But then on Friday we talk about everything else, so non-cyber related, movies, games, TV, books, all that good stuff. So hit us up at all of our websites that go by the podcast name. You can hit me up personally. I am at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and Twitter. And you, LeVon?
Yes, sir. You can hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.